One of the weirdest jobs I ever had was spraying inside of a jail. I walked past this one inmate who stared me down the whole time. I didn't think much of it until the guards pulled me aside after I finished to tell me who he really was. So this story begins with me doing my normal everyday job, working for a pest control company. Nothing crazy, just going to spray people's houses, and the day is going fine. But when the 2 p.m. rolls around, my stops are finishing up, so I call my office and ask, hey, is there any other jobs I can do to keep me busy a little longer? And she says, yes, I'll add stuff to your account. So as I'm finishing up this last house, I noticed they added me a sheriff's office and a McDonald's. Nothing crazy, I thought at the time, so I hit up the sheriff's office first thinking it wouldn't take long, but come to find out, it will come out to be something crazier than I thought. I get to the sheriff's office not thinking much. I go to check in and I tell the clerk, hey, I'm here to spray. Is Mr. We'll just give him a name, Mr. Blue here? She says, hold on, give me a second. And I didn't think much of it, I was just waiting there thinking they were going to call him. But after 5 minutes, she calls me up and says, Mr. Blue is not here, but we have somebody else that will help you take around to spray. So I was like, okay, this person takes me. We'll call him Mr. Red. And Mr. Red asked me, so where do you guys usually spray? And I tell this guy, well, this is my first time. I have only been here for a couple months, so I don't really know where to spray. But hey, on my phone is the work order. There's a job description right here. It says I have to spray the offices, the cells, the tanks, and the restrooms. So the guard's like, okay. And the guy says, we're going to go do the jail first. And I was like, that's fine with me, You take me where I need to go. So first things first, they pat me down. They make me put my phone, my wallet, and keys in their office and take me into the inside of the jail. Now, this is my first time, and I'm low-key scared shitless. I don't know what could happen, and I don't want anything to happen. You know what I mean? So I do a quick prayer in my head for nothing to happen, and we're going about treating the whole jail. It starts off as normal, treating the low-profile inmate cells, nothing going on too crazy, besides inmates screaming and hollering, the Orkin Man is here, usual stuff. They haven't seen the outside world in a couple of days, couple weeks, couple months, so they're seeing something new and they're excited. And once I'm finishing up with the low-profile inmates, we get to the high-profile inmates. Once we get to them, things turn out to be a little bit more crazier. They request for another guard to escort me. So now I have 2 guys escorting me to spray these people's cells. And I'm spraying the cells and tanks. And as I'm about halfway in one of the cells, there's this inmate who's just joking around, messing with the guards, Didn't think much of it at first, And while I'm spraying his cell, he's like, hey, bro, let me hold your belt for a minute. It looks nice. And in the moment, I'm scared shitless. So I couldn't come up with anything to say. So I ended up just saying, no, literally that's it. And it just was awkward for a minute. And once I was done spraying his cell and they closed the door, it's like a electric door that automatically shuts. The guard is like, yeah, that guy was testing you. It's a good thing you didn't say nothing to him. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But as I'm going and finishing up spraying the rest of the jail, the extra guard that was with me, ends up going to do something. And the main guard that was with me the whole time started talking to me about my job, how much do they pay me, and if I like it. And I tell him, yeah, they pay pretty good. And so far it's been good, besides having to spray the jail, which, I was excited at first. But once I actually was in there, I was scared shitless. And then I asked him how his job and how much does he make, and he tells me that. And then out of the nowhere, this guard tells me, you know what's the crazy part? The guy that asked you for your belt is being convicted for quadruple homicide. And when he says that, I was like a deer in headlights. And I tell the guy, if he's being convicted for that, you just let me in there? And the guard was like, yeah, of course. It's not like we would let him do anything to you. And I told him, but he could have done something. Like, It was like, and the card was like, we would have prevented anything from happening to you. And when he told me that, I was done. I was ready to get out of there, honestly. I started finishing up as quickly as I could, getting out of that area. Once I was finished, I packed all my stuff, put it in my work truck, and just sat there for a minute thinking of all of the worst things that could have happened to me. Ended up calling one of my coworkers who works here longer than me, and I asked her, hey, I just went into the jail and I passed the murderer. And she flipped out. She started asking me, what were you doing in there? You wasn't supposed to be spraying the cells. All you had to do was spray the little hallways where they had all the pipes. And I told her, well, I mean, it said in the job description to spray the cells and the tanks. And it was my first time, so I didn't think to call anybody about before I went in there. And I just showed the guard what I needed to do, and he took me everywhere. And she just started telling me, you could have gotten hurt. Something could have happened to you. Who knows what could have happened? And I told her that's what I was thinking the whole time. And after that call ended, I just left it like that. I was like, holy shit. Like, what I sprayed, I was not supposed to be spraying in those cells at all. Especially with the guy who's being convicted for quadruple homicide. So I'm finishing up. I head out of there. I go to my next job, which is the McDonald's. And as I'm spraying the McDonald's, I'm saying hi to the workers and stuff. And one of the workers asked me, I'm like, hey, bro, how's your day been? And I'm like, man, my day has been crazy. I just passed the murderer. And he tried asking me for my belt. I'm like, really, your belt? I'm like, yeah, I guess this Orkin belt was shiny and nice to him. And he was like, huh, that's pretty funny. And I was like, it's not, but okay. So yeah, that's the end of the story, guys. More of the story is careful when you go into buildings you are not too sure of what you're supposed to be doing. Always give your manager or somebody a call, because you never know who you might be passing, But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.